interested in intercollegiate athletics, an opportunity to wear what we call the jersey. Allow me to welcome our future student athletes, as well as anyone else listening in, including parents, other family members, friends, and pets. Let me take a moment to map out our plan for this session, as well as what will occur in the second half hour. After a few brief comments from me, you'll hear from our coordinator of student athlete development and sports communication assistant, Daisy Alazy, who goes by Daisy. Daisy will introduce just 4 of our 650 plus student athletes that comprise our 26 broad-based athletics program. Isaiah, Sam, Mackenzie, and Joey represent the body that drives all we do in intercollegiate athletics at Springfield College as administrators and coaches, as we strive daily to provide the preeminent NCAA Division III student athlete experience. After Daisy and hearing from 4 of our student athletes, the chat function will be populated with links to all of our sport offerings. At that time, you will select the sport of interest to you and connect with a member of that team's coaching staff. That session is designed to be completed within 30 minutes, allowing you to continue the a la carte menu we have set up today. Of course, I encourage you to take advantage of as much as you can during your best virtual visit ever. Before I turn it back to Daisy, allow me to state that I believe should you decide Springfield College for the next 4 years, your 4 years on this campus will set you up for the next 40 years of your life. You will be provided the resources to excel in the classroom, in the community, and the competitive arena. Our unique teacher-coach model, our head coaches are members of the faculty, and this rare model reinforces our unique philosophy, the Humanics philosophy. Our teacher coaches thrive in developing the spirit, mind, and body of our students on a daily basis. The community of Springfield College is powerful, and I am confident you will be able to feel it virtually as the situation we are all in together prevents the special and unique person-to-person interaction we are so well known for on our beautiful campus. Again, thank you for joining us. At this point, I will turn it over to Daisy. Daisy, take it away.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Dr. P, for that. Yeah, we just want to welcome you all here this morning. So I'm the coordinator of Student Athlete Leadership Development and Communications Assistant here at Springfield College. I've been here for about 3 months, so I'm welcoming you on this journey as the same one that I am taking as well. I just wanted to let you all know that we do have programming for incoming student athletes and transfers, anyone who's coming new into the institution, and in the realms of the athletic department. It's our PASS program, and it's pretty much we want to set you all up to have as best as a successful career and time here at Springfield College. The PASS program kind of like allows you to get a gaze into the resources that you would have readily available to you on campus, within the athletics department. So we just want to do our best to be here for you and be an aid in any way possible that we can. If at any point during this session you have any questions for any of the student athletes or just in general, please feel free to send me a direct message and I will read those questions towards our student athletes if we have time at the end. But just reiteration, send those to me directly. So without further ado, we will introduce the main event of tonight, which is our student athletes. And so we'll start with Isaiah.
How y'all doing? I'm Isaiah Cashwell-Doe. I'm a junior psychology major from Boston, Mass. I'm a member of the football team. And something I kind of want to touch upon at the moment is the topic of campus involvement. There's many opportunities for people to be involved on campus in clubs, different teams, and kind of just different things around campus. And like one thing I'm in is Minded Motions. I'm an e-board of Minded Motions. We're kind of focusing on health right now and just kind of educating students in the health. And something else I want to talk about is what Dr. P said is the teacher coach model. a lot of our coaches are teachers, so they understand what we're going through, the stress that it brings, like playing such a demanding sport. And therefore, when it comes to work, like they're lenient and they care for you and they just honestly care a lot. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks, Isaiah. Yeah, Isaiah brings up a really great point. Most of our coaches are teachers as well, so they understand the struggles that you all go through in the realms of academics, and they definitely want to see you all succeed in the classroom and in your respected sports field. So they definitely have a heightened sense of what it takes to be a student athlete here at Springfield. Next, we'll hear from Sam.
Hi everyone, I'm Sam Horahan. I'm a sophomore. I'm from Bridgewater, Mass. I'm in the physical therapy program and I'm a part of the women's basketball team here at Springfield. I'm just going to be touching upon balancing academics and athletics because it's definitely difficult, but you can do it. Springfield has really great programs, really diverse majors and programs of study for everyone. And it's definitely possible as a student athlete to juggle both. I think the number one thing would be time management. Don't like save your homework for after practice. Try to do it during the day because you're not going to want to do it after practice. You're going to be really tired and stuff like that. And also, I think that Springfield has a lot of different opportunities for you to excel. There's tutors, and I know lots of teams, especially my team, we have study hall. So you're able to put your academics first and but also excel on the court or on the field and things like that.
Perfect. Thanks for that, Sam. Yeah, that's a great point. A lot of our programs do highlight and utilize study hall factors where you all can do homework and such together. That way you have a safe space academically as well to, propel and succeed moving forward. Next, we'll hear from Mackenzie.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mackenzie Nunes. I'm a sport management major from the Woodlands, Texas, and I'm a member of the women's volleyball team. When I say the Woodlands, Texas, like a lot of people kind of look at me here like I have four heads. Like, why are you from so far away? Like, all of those questions get put into it. And coming from a distance seems scary, especially to a small school like Springfield. But honestly, Springfield is such an accepting and loving community that you walk in and you find your best friends on your team. You find people on campus and you're like, oh, hey, like they're so interested in where you're from, what that's like, how it's different, how it's the same. And then within sports, you find so many other people also from a distance. I know on the gymnastics team alone, like I met a guy from North Carolina, and so many people from California. So it's really, you find your own little community within being someone from out of like the region, I guess.
Perfect. Thanks, Mackenzie. Yeah, I definitely think it helps bring a nice flavor to Springfield when we can encourage and have students come from all over the world to be a part of our family. And then last but not least, we will hear from Joey.
Hey everyone, I'm Joey Manginelli. I'm a sophomore here at Springfield College. I'm currently majoring in business management with a minor in criminal justice. I'm from Dumont, New Jersey, and I'm also a member on the wrestling team, which has been a great experience learning to balance academics and athletics at the Division III level. Some of the things that attracted me the most when visiting the campus were the resources that are provided for you. If you haven't seen our weight room and wellness center, they are top of the line and right up there with some of the best Division I schools in the country. And with that being said, they are accompanied by some of the best strength and conditioning coaches that provide you an abundance amount of knowledge about improving athletic performance and overall health. Everyone knows that being a student athlete at the collegiate level could be very overwhelming and could put a toll on you physically and mentally. But what amazed me is the athletic counseling staff and sports psych that is provided for you. And athletic counseling and sports psych sessions are there for you when you're having a rough time balancing or transitioning to the student athlete lifestyle. And so Springfield College provides you with these great resources, and you have to take advantage of them because they're there for you to help you achieve as student athletes.
Perfect. Well said, Joey. I don't think I could have said it better myself. Yeah, the resources they're definitely here for you, whether you think they're small or big, they're readily available. So please utilize them as best as you can, even if you don't become student athletes, like you utilize your resources on campus because we're all going through trying times right now. So having a little someone extra in your corner could never hurt. So with that said, we're going to move on into the panel. We have a list of questions. At any time, if you all hear the student athletes mention or allude to anything that you have would like a follow-up question, please send that to me directly. And if there's time at the end, I'll definitely read those so the student athletes can answer them. So we'll start with Sam. Sam, can you talk to us about how you've developed as a leader in your time here on campus?
For sure. I would say a big thing at Springfield is that freshmen and sophomores can have an impact right away. You don't have to be a senior to start or have a lot of minutes. And so I think that happened to me, and I was able to develop really quickly as a leader because my role was needed on my team. And I had really great upperclassmen, and I know every team at Springfield has amazing upperclassmen to look up to and kind of model yourself off of. So I know this year we had a lot of freshmen, and obviously with COVID and everything, it was really important to look out for them and just like be a leader for the younger kids on your team. So I would just say definitely your upperclassmen help you out a lot, and they are great people to look up to. So I just wanted to be like them.
Perfect. Thanks, Sam. Yeah, it's definitely important to be the person that you once had, so to speak. So you had great upperclassmen, and as you continue to rise up that totem pole, you're definitely showing that you'll be that to your younger classmen as well. Isaiah, so you've been a very successful first 2 years at Springfield for you. Tell us about your impression of the culture of athletics here on campus, specifically the support you receive from your coaches and teammates.
The culture of athletics on campus is strong, stronger than people may think. Don't laugh at me now. But sports teams always support each other. Like there's many sequences where I'm at a wrestling match or I'm at the basketball games. And there's different times where they're coming to us to watch football and support. So the support of each team is strong. We all want to see each other win. We have a really competitive culture at our school. So therefore, everyone wants to win all the time. So when you see them in class, you're like, yo, you got a game on Friday? Like, all right, where I'm going to be there. Like, let's get this W. It's a we. Like, we want to get this W because we all want to see each other win. And now for the support from teammates and coaches, that's like family. I think of my coaches as my fathers, like they're second fathers. Like I'm a real homebodied kid. I'm a mama's boy. So when I'm up here, sometimes it gets lonely, but my coaches, they make me feel at home. And my teammates, they're like my brothers. We call it a brotherhood and we mean it. That's a brotherhood. And I think they would die for me if so be it. Please don't, but so be it. I think they would. And I don't know, the love here is great. And I'm just happy I'm here. Put it like that.
Thank you, Isaiah. That was very well said. I'm sure that they feel that energy that you speak on with in regards to your coaches and your teammates, and definitely the culture here on Springfield College campus. Mackenzie, as a fall sports student athlete, you have both a traditional season in the fall and a non-traditional season in the spring. Prior to the pandemic, can you share what a typical day is like when you are in season?
So normally when we're in season, you wake up in the morning, you go to class all day, you go get lunch with your teammates, you go hang out in the union for a little bit, and then practice for every single team on campus is usually from 4 to 6. It's a time that there's like no classes going on. It's like you just focus on your sport. And so that's super duper fun because it's nothing else is going on campus. You're not missing like an event or a class or any of that. And what we do, for women's volleyball usually come in for preseason like 2 weeks earlier in the summer. And it's a really fun time because you move into transition housing with just your teammates. And all you do while you're here is hang out with your team and play and practice and do team building. So preseason's when you get super close. And as like a freshman, that was super important to me because it let me have friends going into the first day of freshman year. It let me have a group of people I knew would have my back no matter what, as soon as like anything happened, not during the year. And then also if you're a fall athlete or like even spring athletes have your non-traditional season. So we have 4 or 5 weeks in the spring that we get to play volleyball. And a really fun thing that our team usually does this tradition is we'll practice from 5:30 to 7:30 in the morning. And it sounds crazy, it sounds awful, but it's honestly one of the best things because all you have to do at that time in the morning is focus on volleyball. None of your friends are awake. There's absolutely nothing going on in the world that like you have to do. So it's just a really good time that you feel really, really fortunate to be able to play your sport.
Definitely. Perfect. Thank you, Mackenzie, for bringing us back to that little bit of normalcy and that little spurt that you were able to give us. All right, Joey, So the semester has certainly been very different, but in the same sense, it's reinforced what type of campus community you are. Can you share your thoughts on how our community has come together in the last few weeks?
Yeah, so this pandemic has caused a lot of harm, especially these last few days on campus. And as of now, I went back home, and it's not where I want to be at the moment, but I would like to be on campus with my friends and family. But due to certain circumstances, it's not ideal. But Springfield College is doing everything they can to provide students the education they deserve, while also being very optimistic about the future. And of course, these last few weeks have been very different, but I would say as a community, we're stronger than we have ever been. And although COVID has restricted us from doing things we normally do, like we're wearing masks and stuff, and it's a struggle for some. But I know on campus, we're majority of the student athletes are wearing their masks and doing the right things for us to have the opportunity to succeed in the classroom and athletics. So we must follow these guidelines, and I think we're doing a great job as students. And I think Springfield College is being very optimistic and being hopeful that we can go back to normal soon.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks for that, Joy. I know we're all going through and dealing with uncertain times, but I definitely commend you all as student athletes for, taking on these trials and tribulations as well as you've done and trying to stick to, the guidelines to ensure that we could possibly have a season. So, a few closing questions, and then also if you have any questions off of what you heard, as always, feel free to throw that in there. But so we're going to go in the same order, starting with you, Sam, on why does Springfield work for you?
I would say Springfield works for me because of the really strong academics and also really strong athletics that we have. When I was looking at schools, I was looking at Division II and Division III schools, but Springfield just has such a good balance of academics and athletics. Basically, every single sports team that we have at school competes in the NUMAC, which is our league, or for NCAAs, which was something that I was really looking for because I wanted to win. Who doesn't want to win? And also, our academics are really strong, and it's really important to all the student athletes. And also, Springfield works for me, kind of what Isaiah was talking about with the atmosphere of all the athletes. Like, I went to so many different sports games, and I looked up in the stands at my basketball games and saw so many different athletes, and that's just really important, and I think really awesome that Springfield has that not a lot of other schools have.
Perfect. That was a great response. Yeah, there's nothing better than seeing your peers support you at your games. Like, it's just an amazing feeling. Same question to you, Isaiah. Why does Springfield work for you?
It works for me because it's so home-like. I don't know, like I said before, I'm a mama's boy, and when I'm here, I honestly feel like I'm at home. And there's so many times where you're walking down campus and like people are saying hi. Like when you're on the regular street, some people just don't say hi to you. But even here, like you walk down and everyone's just saying hello. Like you could be having the worst day and immediately it just turns around. So that just home atmosphere, like the kindness, like everyone's so generous and like people care. Like it goes back to our coaches being teachers. Like people honestly care and they want to see you do the best that you possibly can at all times. So that's why it works for me.
Definitely. And you exhibit that yourself, Isaiah. So, Mackenzie, same question. Why does Springfield work for you?
Springfield works for me because it has given me so many opportunities to become a better person, a better leader, both on and off the volleyball court. We have with coach all the time. We have like our big thing is having like grown up conversations. And if I looked at myself 2 years ago versus the person I am now, like we joke all the time, like, oh, because you've grown up so much, like, no, like the amount of personal growth and effort that your coaches put into you to make you a better human being, like we have the 2 hours on the court to become a better volleyball player, but that leaves 22 other hours of the day to become a better person and a better leader on campus. And Springfield College produces leaders.
Perfect. Well said, Mackenzie. We sure do. And you four are definitely exemplary factors of that. Joey, always last but not least, but same question to you. Why does Springfield work for you?
Yeah, so when looking for schools my senior year of high school, my main goal was to find a college that would help me achieve academically and fit my major, and plus as well as my athletic goals. And I believe there's no better college that guides you to the student athlete mission, helps you succeed in the classroom, on the wrestling mat, or in any other sport that you're pursuing. And I'm a big family guy. And when visiting the campus, you know how friendly the community is and the culture that was brought up years before me. And it's a place you want to be a part of. And I'm grateful for that decision that I made last year. And I wouldn't change it one bit. And I'm excited to spend the next 3 years at Springfield.
Perfect. We're definitely happy to have you too, Joey. So we have a few more minutes, and so we're just going to ask our panel a few extra questions. And if you have any that come to mind, feel free to message me privately. But one that we have is for each of you, and we'll ask. We'll start with you, Sam. What's been the best moment you've had in the midst of this pandemic so far this year?
I would say the best moment that I've had was definitely with my team, like Kenzie was talking about with the early morning practices. We have early morning conditioning, which basically sounds awful, but my whole team being in the gym with our strength coach, just getting after it, and all of us just leave with such a good attitude to start the day. And just being in the gym with all of your teammates, you kind of forget about what's going on. Obviously, like everyone has a mask on and we're all 6 feet apart, but just being together, it kind of seemed normal, or just one thing that could be normal. So I would say that that was definitely like one of the best things.
Perfect. Yeah. Having any type of normalcy helps you feel like, things are always going to be okay. Isaiah, what's been the best part of this pandemic for you?
Definitely putting on full pads. Like we may not have gotten to do the full contact, but I don't know, I love football. Like always student, but I love football. So being able to put on full pads and play the sport that I love, like it just took my mind off the stress, off the pandemic, off the mask, like off everything. And for those, every practice, it wasn't just full pads, but every practice like that, those were the best moments on campus and throughout this pandemic that I've had.
Perfect. Mackenzie?
I think for me, like one of the best things about this whole pandemic is it forces you to actually reach out to people like individually, because obviously you can't be in groups of more than like 5 or 6 people. But if you like really want to make an effort to build relationships with people on your team, you have to personally text them and be like, hey, how's your day? Like, you want to go get a Dunkin' or you want to go to Cheney really fast, and do that versus like, oh, like everybody just come over and hang out and you have all 15 people. Like this whole pandemic has forced you to build more personal relationships with people. And so I think that's the best part of the whole pandemic for me.
And now, Joey, what's been the best part of the pandemic for you?
Yeah, so definitely being able to spend it with my teammates. I mean, the best moment I've had was spending with my team, being able to practice together and have team lifts. It brings back some kind of normalcy, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Perfect. We got one question that came in, and anyone who feels so inclined can answer it. Does Springfield College scout their athletes?
Do you mean like recruit? So do they recruit their athletes? Is that what we're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you get, so we're D3, so they don't give out full scholarships, but people, yes, you do get recruited to come here, or there's possibility, yes, you get recruited to come here. Will you get a full scholarly? I don't know about that one, but they will definitely show that they want you here and do everything in their power to get you here with FAFSA and all these different type of things to lower the price for the school. But yeah, so they recruit.
Yeah, I know for me, I'm on the wrestling team and I travel across the country to wrestle all the time. And so I went to North Carolina a couple times and Springfield College coaches were there for me, supporting me, which is crazy. And, it just shows the amount of support the coaches have for you.
Perfect. And then this last one came in. What does a normal game day look like for any team? So we have about 3 minutes. I'm sure you all can save that together, or whoever feels inclined to answer what a normal game day looks like for you.
For us at least, game day usually is you wake up, you go to class like a normal day, and then all of a sudden it's like 3:30 and everybody's super duper antsy to get in the gym, go step to the net, and then like you do the pregame like rituals, like the dance parties and the joking around, and just try and keep it light and upbeat. And then you go up and you run up into Blake and like just the feeling when you get in Blake on a game day is so different because there's so many, like, our media staff, like Daisy, you're part of it. You put up like the amazing, not images, but like there's great pictures and great graphics that are always made for us, and pamphlets. And the game day experience at Springfield is so different from any other Division III school across the country. Like the amount of effort put into athletics by the people who work in athletics just can't even be matched.
I'm not gonna lie, volleyball games are mad fun to watch. It was the first time for me. But to answer your question, for football, so we only play on Saturdays. So, I mean, we wake up and either we play at 12, 1, or 2. So if the games, I'm just gonna say games at 12, I don't know, we eat breakfast around 8 or 9, head to the locker room, kind of see, they have those dance sessions. We don't really get those, but we need to get on that. We really do. And I don't know, we kind of just vibe out in the locker room, and then by 11 o'clock, we're on the field, I don't know, pre-gaming. And like Kenji said, when you walk, like she walks into Blake, when I walk into that Stag field and you're walking down that line and you see all the people that like you're in class with, and you're like, oh, it's time to ball. Like, it's really time to ball. That's how I feel. But them dance parties, I really need to get on that. Wow.
I'll talk about a game not at Springfield just because those are a little different. You basically just go to class all day waiting to get on that bus. Then you go down to the locker room, get all your stuff together, maybe have a little dance party and get onto the bus and get ready to go. Obviously music on the bus until you get there, and the atmosphere is just go time as soon as you get there for any team basically. And it's not Blake Arena, but you just got to make it the best that it is and just go out there. And Springfield competes wherever we are, whether we're home or away. So I think that that's really important.
Joey, tell me y'all be having dance parties. Are we left out? Like, what is going on?
I don't know if we're having dance parties. Usually we're hungry from cutting weight. So, but usual game days, most times we're traveling. So taking a bus ride to a match or a tournament, which are always pretty fun. And then we're ready to rock and roll and compete. So.
Perfect. Thank you all for that. I'm sure you gave great insight to what it felt like and what it feels like to compete and travel for Springfield Athletics. So we're going to now begin populating the chat function for you all, for you to get a chance to meet your coaches, your specific coaches that, with the respective sports that you'd like to talk more about. Those will be filling in the chat now. They're coming in alphabetically. So if you don't see yours, it's coming. Don't worry. We're going to include those Zoom links in the chat function. Attend them as a representative from each program will be available until 10 a.m. Before we do that, I'd like to ask you in joining us and thanking our panelists. You can unmute yourself, you can give the reaction, you can do snaps, you can clap quietly, whatever you so choose. But we just want to thank our panelists for being here today and, dedicating their Sunday morning to this as well, because it just goes to show how special and unified Springfield College is together. So definitely thank you, panelists, for being here and showing how great of a college that we have here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.